Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's Team Badass training, because you guys are all Team Badass, especially if you're working on codependency, breaking free. So if you don't know me, or if you're new to me, I'm Marshall Burtcher, and I help codependents rediscover happiness after codependency and narcissistic abuse. Today we're going to be talking about a concept. We're going to be talking about denial and how acceptance is the solution to that, and what really is acceptance, because a lot of times there's a lot of confusion about that. So before we jump into that, I need to share this to the community. The community is your safe haven where you want to be seen, valued, understood, and connected with people going through the same journey and experience you are, exiting codependency, making sense of the craziness that you've been enduring, and finding out the truth that you're not crazy, that you didn't cause these things, and that frankly you've been dealing with a crazy person. Let me get this shared out to there. The link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because I publish new trainings 2-3 times a week, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but you can count on that. So I appreciate you guys being here. Let me know how you're doing. Comment below how things are going there for you on your end of this Facebook experience here, and YouTube experience as well. So acceptance and denial, what are we really talking about here? So in codependency, denial is one of our best friends. It's something we do all the time. We're experts at it. We deny the feelings we have, the pain that we're experiencing, the needs and wants that are arising within us. We deny the bad behavior, the abusive behavior, the dehumanizing experiences that we're going through. We deny love. We deny healthy connections. We deny our boundaries. We deny our person, who we are, our own sense of value. And this gets us stuck in a really deep experience of emptiness and fantasy, because codependency is a product of fantasy. The fantasy is that someone else can complete me. Somebody else can completely and totally love me. I will finally be lovable. The great lie in that is that to be lovable, we must be loved, which is incorrect. We're lovable, and then our job is to find people and connect with them that love us for who we are. Ideally, that would have been our parents, but for many of us, that wasn't our parents. Our parents were programmed and raised in an environment of transactionalism, entitlement, and abuse themselves, which doesn't justify their behavior. It just gives us a point of view to say, okay, I can accept that they're screwed up too, and this is the cool thing, because most of the time we start denying our pain at that point, and my pain matters too. I matter too. My experiences matter. How they treated me matters, despite their past. This is why I am a strong proponent of not giving much concern to their abuse in the past if they're being abusive to me. Because just because a person has been abused does not justify abusing someone else. So it doesn't matter that they've been abused. It matters that they're being toxic and abusive to you. That's important. So you can see how we're playing with denial there. It's like, well, they were abused, so I can't feel these feelings, or I shouldn't feel this way, or I should, stop paying attention to that. That's a form of denial and dismissiveness of ourselves. So coming into acceptance is really about an inclusive point of view. It's like, oh, they were abusive and they were abused. I can accept both. And that allows us to achieve legitimacy with ourselves, with our emotions, to acknowledge our legitimacy of what we've been through, what we felt, what we've endured, what we have needed and wanted and didn't get, how we were neglected. This is essential to our well-being. It's essential to our mental and emotional health that we become legitimized, and that starts with accepting what is. So the is includes these dynamics of opposites sometimes. Sometimes we can have two opposites that are true at the same time. Someone can really hate us, and we can still be completely valuable and worthy and lovable all at the same time. Very, very important. The other trick with acceptance, and this comes in with a common challenge we have with codependency, is codependency wants things to be instant. A lot of times people want things to be instant and permanent. Boom, boom. And they tend to regard healing this way. So they have this denial within them about the true nature of healing, which is more of an evolutionary expansion and discovery of self beyond the pain, beyond the conclusion or story we've made up, beyond the trauma. And that is, we just want the pain to be fixed. And then we have this fantasy that if the pain's fixed, I'll never feel a feeling again. I'll never feel that sadness, or I'll never have depression again, or I'll never be anxious or scared or upset or lonely or empty. And that's not true. That's not a realistic expectation. In reality, healing is an evolution from state A to state B, and that evolution requires a reinforcement cycle over and over and over. So this gives us a hint as to the true nature of acceptance, and the true nature of healing is that it is a practice, not an event. When we really take a moment to receive that and go, oh, I need to practice accepting things. I need to practice accepting the same thing over and over and over. I know for me, there's a part of me that wants my abusive parents to have been healthy people. I want a healthy, thriving relationship with them. I can't have that because of what they choose to be. It's a very different point of view than maybe I can make that happen. No, it's I accept what I want is valid and legitimate, and I accept reality that that's not something I can provide. That's acceptance, and I have to practice receiving that on a semi-frequently basis these days. But early on, it was almost a daily faction, because I got to help my brain see reality rather than live in its fantasy that it can make something different happen with them, which isn't accurate or true based on patterns of behavior and cycles of experience I've had with them. It isn't going to change because they're doing what they do, right? So acceptance is a deeply profound act of acknowledging reality without condemning us or them, but really going into, this is the dynamics, this is the facts of it. And then it's a practice of acknowledging those things over and over and allowing ourselves to adapt to that truth and that reality. And then often with that adaptation comes grief. We're going to grieve what we didn't get. We're going to grieve what we thought we had and didn't have and didn't really have. We're going to grieve what we won't receive. Codependency and the exit from it has a lot of grief. And that's normal, that's understandable. It's okay. It's part of how we're coming into acceptance and coming into an adaptation of reality versus what we wanted, which was often the fantasy we were wrestling with. So breaking free of denial starts with coming into acceptance of what is, what you want, what you feel about it, what's really happening. And acknowledging both and coming into a practice of acceptance between them. It's constantly reinforcing or acknowledging what is real versus what is fantasy in that. If you're willing to do this, you're actually going to accelerate your healing. You're going to accelerate your healthiness. You're going to accelerate your entrance into self-advocacy, your exit from codependency, and you're going to become more adept at trusting yourself and being more able to parent yourself and connect with an honest reality so that you can connect, so that you can get what you want in the way you want it from people who already align with that. So that's my what, how, who approach to relationships. So that is today's training, guys. I want you to, if you want to take a challenge, the Mission Impossible thing, go out there and look at what you're confronting, what you're in denial of, and then practice starting accepting what really is by acknowledging what really is happening rather than what you hope will happen or you hope is happening. So that also includes coming into acceptance of what we're feeling rather than what, that we've been denying. Because a lot of times we don't have a strong sense of self because we're in active denial of what we think and feel and want and need, and don't want to need within us. And this allows us to get more in contact with what we actually want and need and what is relevant to us, what is healthy for us, so that we can succeed. So there you go, guys. Appreciate you. Remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. Also, Rapid Heal is open. Rapid Heal Live Mentoring Edition is open for enrollment. You can get that. What that gets you is it gets you the HEAL system, which helps you heal the shame, fear, guilt, and fatigue. Narcissistic abuse. It also gets you access to the recorded and live trainings of the Addiction to Connection system, which is how we heal the trauma bond and love addiction. Also gets you access to the live mentoring hours I do on Tuesdays and Sundays, which is where you get custom, one-on-one coaching with me in a group format, online and live like this. And then you also get access to the Thrive Strategy, relationship and life skills trainings that I do twice a month. So you can get that. That's open for enrollment. The link is above if you're on Facebook, below on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Hang in there. Let me know if you need anything. Let me know how you're doing in the comments on what you got out of today's training. Be safe, be healthy, and I will see you guys in our next training. Bye-bye.